But let's focus now on the tornado warning that is up. It is for this cell right here. I'm looking at areas that will be impacted. Spotsylvania by 11:23. Fredericksburg by 11:37. Areas around Stafford, 11:50. And if you live in and around even Widewater by 11:58. Again, for the next 30 minutes, Spotsylvania, you are under a tornado warning. That is based on what we're seeing here. Radar indicated for Spotsylvania County, severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing some rotation, of producing some wind damage. This is located near the Bumpus area, or 7 miles just east of Mineral. A storm system right now moving east-northeast at 35 miles per hour. And there could also be some large hail with this system. So here's where we're tracking it right now as it moves to areas off to the north and east there at 35 miles per hour. In terms of impacts, not only will we see the high winds, the potential for some damaging winds, but we also have the risk of large hail and some very heavy rain. There could be some rainfall rates at around 1 to 2 inches per hour. So folks, if you live in this area, I want you to seek shelter right now, getting to the lowest level of your home or your shelter and staying put until this warning has expired, again, until they're 11:30 for Spotsylvania County. It's all part of this line advancing off to the east very quickly. Soon it'll be into the D.C. metro area by noon. And then eventually off to the east, areas like Easton, by the time we get to 1:31, and then Ocean City shortly after 3 o'clock. You're seeing more spin off to the west. That's the secondary part of the line that will be coming through this evening. So this initial wave that we're seeing move through our area, it's going to be around until noon, 1, 2 o'clock, advancing off to the east very quickly. Again, tornado watch up for the entire area until 2 p.m., watching for the risk of tornadoes. Warnings mean, again, you need to take shelter ASAP. Also, severe thunderstorm warning now issued for areas of Clark County, Fauquier County, Warren County, as well as, I mentioned Clark, Fauquier, and Loudoun County. That'll go until now, this new warning for the possibility of some high winds until 11:45. So that's what we're saying. Again, you folks in Spotsylvania County, stay away from the windows, doors, get down to the lowest area of your home until this warning expires. I want to go back to Steve Rudin right now, who's got more on conditions right now, some of the highest winds, and what we're seeing in terms of areas impacted.
All right, so here we are on weather alert across the area for the entire day. We have a severe thunderstorm warning, a tornado warning, and on top of that, a tornado watch until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Our main focus right now over into Spotsylvania County, and that is where the strongest of the storms are located, at least right now at this hour, with this tornado warning. If you're watching us in Spotsylvania over into Brokenburg or Mount Pleasant or Gatewood, this is the time that you need to find your safe space, an area without windows, an area that is not in the basement if you have one. If you live in a mobile home or if you live in an area that is low-lying, definitely this is the time to make sure that you seek shelter, as we have Doppler radar indicated tornado in this warning until 11:30. So for about another 21 minutes as we are live now at 11:09. Let me expand the view out for you just a little bit more. Notice the D.C. metro area, all areas inside the Beltway shaded in yellow. That is a tornado watch until 2 o'clock. And I wouldn't be surprised the farther west you go, we see this shaved away and then the watch expanded farther to the east, over toward Delmarva Beaches, over toward Philadelphia. We also have these severe thunderstorm warning right now that has now been posted just to the north of Warrenton and to the east and south of Winchester, and this is going to continue as we head into the next half hour or so. But let's zoom in and focus on the warning area over into Spotsylvania County, and you can see quite a bit of thunder and lightning as this moves on off toward the east, winds upwards of 60 miles per hour. And need to stress that this is a Doppler radar indicated storm, but nonetheless, you need to take it just as seriously as we move through, not only until 11:30, but as this line continues continues to track on off toward the north and east, and we're likely to see many, many warnings over the next several hours across the area. Zooming in a little bit closer, Spotsylvania, this is on the back edge of you right now to the south and west of you, but it is moving your way, and that is why this box is right over here. You can see it flashing in white. That is where we have, or we're expecting the storms to move through. And then Fredericksburg, even though you're not under the severe thunderstorm warning or the tornado warning, if this continues its track and it holds together, this is the time you need to make sure the kids are indoors, you need to make sure the pets are secure, and this is the time ahead of schedule to make sure that your weather alert, and as always, make sure you have your Stormwatch 7 weather app. So once again, here we are, we're looking at the severe weather alerts for you until 11:45, Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, Loudoun, and Warden counties. That is severe thunderstorm warning number 1, severe thunderstorm warning number 2 that has the embedded tornado warning. That is for Orange and Spotsylvania counties. And when I wind this out even more for you, you can see how this edge is very, very long, all the way from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border down toward west of Richmond, and then all the way down to the North Carolina-Virginia state line. This is trucking at around 40 to 45 miles per hour, and it will have the potential, like we're seeing right now, to give us tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings with those very strong winds, and heavy, heavy rain can be expected as we move through the next couple of hours or so. So if you are trying to get from point A to point B, or if you're delaying going to the Delmarva beaches, at this point, hold tight. Let this line move on through. We are expecting to see a lull as we head into the later afternoon hours, and then another wave of stronger storms later on this evening. Veronica, we're going to head back to you for a quick update.
Thanks a lot, Steve. Yeah, so as Steve Rudin mentioned, a couple of warnings up right now. The worst is what is in Spotsylvania County, heading off to the east and northeast. Spotsylvania County, you folks probably seeing the wind come up right now in areas as they zoom in really tight, just west and southwest of Spotsylvania right now. Let me go ahead and put on the, that's right around 208, traveling right over 208. Chancellor, also, you're going to be impacted soon, and then eventually Fredericksburg in the next couple of minutes, getting those high winds. The potential, based on what we're seeing here, that there could be some brief rotation with this cell as it punches off to the north and east. Again, Spotsylvania County, you're under a tornado warning until 11:30. So if you are somewhere, if you got a friend that's in Spotsylvania County, if you know of someone who's on the road, go ahead and contact them right now and let them know should they not be getting the warning that this is up for another 30 minutes here. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for Orange and the rest of Spotsylvania County up to the north. Again, we are looking at here some 60-mile-per-hour winds, some large hail potentially, the size of about 3/4 of an inch hail. So that's enough that could do some damage along with those very high winds. Along with that, I'm going to zoom right up here to the other cell that we're looking at, and that's currently around Clark, around Fauquier County, Loudoun County, as well as Warren County. And now a new tornado warning up that is up for the rest of Spotsylvania County. Continues until 11:30. So let me go back to that cell right now with the National Weather Service putting out another statement on this cell. So here's what we're looking at, folks, here. You see this little bowing part of the cell. Going to get really, really tight here. Areas around Mount Pleasant, Gatewood area, Lewiston area, Levy, Partlow. You're probably hearing the winds come up. Stay put, stay where you are, get to the lowest level of your home or shelter, wherever you are, until this warning has expired. Again, it's gone from now, that tornado warning up until 11:30, covering a little bit more here of Spotsylvania County. And I'm going to put the tracking on again so that you can see these areas that are going to be impacted over the next couple of minutes. That little bow right there, pushing up toward areas like Fredericksburg. My folks in Spotsylvania, you're going to be impacted by 11:21 potentially with this line, with this cell riding right over you. Fredericksburg by 11:34, and then eventually Falmouth area by 11:36. Let me open it up again. Spotsylvania County tornado warning that continues until 11:30 here, so for about another 15 minutes. And look at this line. Here's what we were looking at earlier. The fact that this is all part of line number one. Line number one moving through our area today. You're seeing kind of the wiggles along this line of thunderstorms here, and that's an indication that we are going to be getting a little bit of rotation along the line as it moves through from now up until 2 p.m. today. Along with very heavy rain and again the chance of hail. But there's also another line that's back behind it. And this initial line does extend up just over the Maryland line up into Pennsylvania, and it extends all the way south, folks, with some very, very heavy rain. So now is not the time to be getting on the road. So a couple of warnings up as this line moves through in the next couple of minutes. Steve, I know you've been looking at some of the cameras over the last couple of minutes. Some of the skies probably changing in a hurry.
They are, and this is the time that you need to find your safe space wherever you may be. If you are in a mobile home, you need to go to your designated safe shelter in your community. If you have a basement, this is the time to go to the basement. If you're watching us right now in Spotsylvania County, the whole area is under a tornado watch. We have severe thunderstorm warnings over for Clark and Loudoun, northern Fauquier County. And then, of course, over into Spotsylvania, just a few minutes ago, you may have heard a little bit of a siren on in the background when Veronica was speaking. That is our weather system alerting us that the National Weather Service has resized the warning as the storm continues to move on off toward the north and east. And where you see it flashing orange right over here, that means that there's been a brand new update for the severe thunderstorm warning. But if you're watching us right now in Spotsylvania, over into Smith Mill, over into Mount Pleasant or Brokenburg, this is the time when you need to seriously take shelter. Make sure that you have your weather app ready to go. Head to the basement. If you don't have a basement, an interior room with no windows, a closet, a bathroom. This is the time to gather the kids and the pets. Severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings, nothing to mess around with. Once again, the wider view, if you're watching us inside the Capitol Beltway, for now you are fine. However, these storms are going to continue to move to the east. Now look at the flashing that you see right here, the tornado watch. Notice that it has now been shaved off to areas off toward the west of us along the I-81 corridor. So that is good news. And we're going to see this likely happen as we move through the remainder of the morning hours, then into the afternoon hours. This is going to continue to get shaved away. But within this area, still looking at that tornado warning over into the Spotsylvania area. And this storm is now moving on off toward the north and east. So tornado warning, Spotsylvania until 11:30. So about another 13 minutes. It may very well reshape again and extend even longer than that, maybe farther off toward the north and east to also include Fredericksburg. Severe thunderstorm warning on top of that is until 11:45, and that's when we're going to see this continue to change, and this thunderstorm warning will likely, most definitely, probably head over toward the Fredericksburg area. Off toward the north and west, this is the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued for Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, Loudoun, and Warden counties. It includes Lovettsville, Round Hill, also Middleburg, and you will likely see wind gusts upwards of 60 miles per hour. And just like we are seeing down to the south in Fredericksburg, we very well could see a spin-up tornado and a tornado warning, but nothing like that there, at least not right now. All this continues to move on off toward the north and east. On top of that, we are looking at drenching rains that are going to move across the area. Could be see localized flooding, but once again, looking at that tornado watch now until 2 o'clock, and notice how they've added extra counties just down toward the south and west of us. Veronica?
There, Steve. Yeah, when you look at the wide view, you can see where the warnings have been early part of today, off to the west and down to the southwest. And right now, we've got the one area here shaded in orange, just west of Gaithersburg right now. So that is a severe thunderstorm warning that is up for the next couple of minutes here. That severe thunderstorm warning that you're seeing, that is going to remain up until I believe that is 11:45 there, 11:45. It does include areas of Loudoun County here this morning. It does include northern Fauquier County, just got shaved back a bit. So Loudoun and northern Fauquier County until 11:45. You could be looking at some winds there coming up around 80 miles per hour, but definitely the areas that extend all the way down to the south, Richmond, South Hill, down toward Raleigh. This is all part of the same line, advancing off to the east very quickly. The worst part of the line, however, around Spotsylvania, which is why you're under a tornado warning right now, that will go for another 10 minutes could be extended. Right now, we are seeing the possibility that this could be extended to include areas of not just Spotsylvania, but also maybe Stafford County. So my friends there around Fredericksburg, you could be seeing the winds come up very shortly. I've got the tracking on right now. Spotsylvania by 11:28 in the next 8 minutes. Fredericksburg by 11:42. And then on towards Stafford in Virginia by 11:55. Again, the potential for a tornado, and even if it's not that, you're probably going to see a lot of wind in a short period of time, and that means the potential to have some small trees come down, some limbs, probably some debris in area roads, and just a whole lot of rain too. We're tracking some rainfall rates that are around 1 to 2 inches per hour right now, and this little cloud that you're seeing with what looks like hail dropping from it is actually that. Our radar signature here showing that there could be the potential for some large hail dropping out of this system as it rolls through areas
It's a new way to watch TV
in the
for
next
free.
couple of minutes.
It's live
and I
local
just
news,
tapped on this
live
area here
sports,
that is
movies,
south of Mount
TV.
Pleasant, also headed towards Spotsylvania with some very, very high rainfall rates. The rainfall rates that I'm seeing there, close to 3 inches per hour, which is why, again, not only the possibility of some high winds, but also ponding, flooding on area roads. We may be looking at shortly here some isolated flood warnings or flash flood warnings that may go up shortly here. I'm going to open it up here and show you the wider view of this because there's also another cell that just popped here. This is outside of the other severe thunderstorm warning, my friends in Montgomery County as well as in northern Fauquier County. This cell around Charlestown, you're probably getting some high winds. That's headed off to Hagerstown and then eventually Thurmont there in the next couple of minutes. So again, the latest is a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, new tornado warning. This continues for Spotsylvania County. I continue to, Steve, as you know, we continue to hear the siren here on this cell that is just around Spotsylvania now, that tornado warning until 11:30 for Spotsylvania County.
And that is when the National Weather Service is reshaping it. This storm is moving. It's not standing still. So as they move through the warning period, which is set to expire now at 11:30 in just about 8 minutes or so, they're going to continue to reshape this area where you see the tornado warning. And you can already see that it's been shaved down quite a bit. Let's head in a little bit closer. The reason why it's flashing is a brand new update was just given on it. Looking at Spotsylvania, it's right overhead right now. Keep in mind, Doppler radar indicated, but that does not mean that you're not going to see gusty winds and those heavy downpours over towards Smith's Mill. Also looking at that tornado warning that continues. Now, Bellevue, just off toward the north and east of you, you're under a tornado watch, but even though you're not under the severe thunderstorm warning, it's just on your back doorstep. So if you're watching us right now over into Fredericksburg, this is the time that you need to at least make sure the kids are inside, the pets are inside, make sure that everything is shut, the windows, maybe turn the air conditioner off in case the power goes out and you have to worry about anything short-circuiting. But this is just on the southern and southwestern edge of Fredericksburg and, of course, a populated area. So this is a time to take extra caution right now. Farther off toward the west of us, over toward western Loudoun County, that's where we also have a severe thunderstorm warning. That is until 11:45, so just about less than half an hour to go with that one. Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, and Loudoun, this is also moving on off toward the east. Round Hill, Middleburg, areas right now expecting and seeing very, very heavy rain at this time. But let's go back to the tornado warning, the active tornado warning until 11:45 now. So it's actually not only reshaped, but it's extended even longer. So instead of expiring at 11:30, it is now 11:45 for Spotsylvania. The heaviest of the cell right over Spotsylvania right now, and this is moving on off toward the north and east. But once again, need to stress, if you're in Fredericksburg, this is the time that you need to stay extra weather alert as this is slowly drifting your way. Whether or not it will still have the potential Doppler radar tornado is still yet to be seen, but you are going to see some pretty strong weather across your area over the next next hour or so. Once again, off to the north, don't want to forget about Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, and Loudoun County. Severe thunderstorm warning does remain in effect. This is a long line of storms, stretches all the way from the Maryland-Pennsylvania border all the way down to North Carolina, and this is going to continue to move our way over the next several hours. On top of the severe thunderstorm warning risk, On top of the tornado risk, also the potential for localized flooding. Some neighborhoods may see upwards of 1 to 2, if not 3 inches of rain. Wider view again for you, D.C. metro area, tornado watch until 2 o'clock. As we head over toward Fredericksburg, that is where, or Spotsylvania, I should say, that is where we have a tornado warning that has now been expanded and extended until 11:45 as this line continues to rush on off toward the north and east. Lots of thunder and lightning over toward Hagerstown, getting ready to impact Frederick, Maryland. Here's the timeline if you have Delmarva Beach plans, as this strong line of storms move through, could be over the D.C. metro area, at least the northern edge of it, by the noontime hour. Don't forget the definition for a watch, meaning that conditions are favorable for severe weather. A warning means that we are actually looking at severe weather across the area. Flood alerts again, we have flood watches for pretty much the entire area, and of course that means that conditions are favorable for localized flooding. Do want to give you a quick look at our cameras. This is our camera here in Roslyn overlooking the city. Clouds are beginning to build. No severe weather inside the Beltway right now. Over toward the Watergate in Georgetown, once again, looking to the west, looking at those clouds continuing to build. Frostburg, you're on the other side of this, so quieter conditions for the next few hours. National Harbor, wider view for you. Also looking at those storm clouds beginning to build, and within the next hour or two, it's going to get a little bit dicey around the metro area. And our final camera, before we head over to Veronica, this is from atop the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. Clouds are beginning to build. The storm system is on the way, and we do have active warnings for the area. And of course, everyone wants to know what's going on in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. That is where they are looking at conditions right now that are just fine. However, later on this afternoon, not going to be the case. Tornado watch remains in effect until 2 o'clock. Head over to Spotsylvania. Tornado warning until 11:45. Veronica?
Yeah, Steve, there really is just so much that is going on here throughout the day today. One of the things that I wanted to show is that wide view again of the tornado watch, where we could be looking at more warnings here in the next 2 hours at the very least as the line heads off to the east. That red zone south of Fredericksburg, that is where some of the worst conditions are right now. But we do have several areas where severe thunderstorm warnings have been issued for also the wider part of Spotsylvania County. Then up there just east of Winchester, my friends there, just east of Winchester, western Loudoun County, and northern Fauquier County right now. So let's go ahead and examine some of the cells and see how they've changed just over the last couple of minutes. Right there, you're looking at that tornado warning that will continue until 11:30. Let me go back out a little here until 11:30. That's for Spotsylvania areas around Old Trap, Arcadia area, Smith's Mill. It's advancing off to the east here at about 40 miles per hour. So very shortly, it'll be hitting Fredericksburg very shortly. If it continues on this track, right up toward Stafford, right up toward Hardwood with high winds, and then eventually even Fairview Beach area, you'll get this cluster of storms producing potentially that tornado and some very high winds. And notice too, up toward Manassas there, my friends in Manassas, Virginia, you're not under a tornado warning or severe thunderstorm warning, but this line has intensified with lightning. And that is an indicator to us that it is strengthening. Probably you'll see some high winds also coming through your area. Prince William County may see a severe thunderstorm warning issued on your area. Right now, west of Leesburg, Virginia, north of Marshall, I've got a severe thunderstorm warning for Clark, for Fauquier, for Jefferson, and also Loudoun County. This goes until 11:45. You're probably looking out your window and seeing that heavy rain. So not quite as bad, but conditions could change in a hurry, again, as this whole line advances off to the east. It's the first wave. What we said about the second line that starts to build and come through is if we get enough breaks in the cloud cover behind this line, the second line that comes our way after 7 p.m. this evening may be just as intense, if not stronger, at least initially. So still here, we've got a little bit more of this tornado warning left down around Fredericksburg area, passing right over I-95, up toward Stafford area. I'm zooming in really tight here. You can see 17. There may be, Steve, at the very least, while we got the tornado warning just west of Stafford County, we may see Stafford County before long with at least a severe thunderstorm warning issued for some high winds coming up.
Exactly. What's been interesting with this, Veronica, is that the tornado warning has reshaped and evolved over the last half hour to 45 minutes. This is our live camera, Spotsylvania, Virginia. Now the rain still beginning to fall, but it looks a whole lot better than it did. And it's expired. Good news. And this is proof that things are beginning to improve for you in Spotsylvania. Your tornado warning has now been canceled ahead of schedule. This is what it looks like this hour in Woodbridge. And you can see that the skies look threatening. You have heavy rain that's falling. But I do want to show you this map right here, and then we'll go back to Veronica. The entire area, including the D.C. metro area, this is where we're under a tornado watch until 2 o'clock. They have already shaved off a large portion of it off toward the west of us. And the best news of all, at least as of right now, the tornado warning that was in effect for Spotsylvania County, that has now canceled ahead of schedule, and you're now just looking at a severe thunderstorm warning. It does include Chancellor, Spotsylvania, Smith Hill, and you'll notice it's now flashing over toward Fredericksburg. This has now expanded the severe thunderstorm warning, and it does include city of Fredericksburg, and then it's going to move across the river over into Charles County. So even though we don't have the tornado warning that's active anymore, we are still looking at severe thunderstorm warning, and that also includes Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, and Loudoun counties, and we are going to see that continue until 11:45. Here's the latest in terms of the warning. We have got two of them, one until 11:45. You can see Spotsylvania, the worst of it, has lifted on off toward the north and east. Then here's the newer severe thunderstorm warning, including city of Fredericksburg, King George, also Spotsylvania included in this, and Stafford, and eventually this is probably going to make its way over towards southern Maryland. Severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for Clark, Fauquier, Jefferson, and Loudoun counties for 11:45. That may very well begin to impact over the coming hours over toward Montgomery County, and then over toward the district as we head through the remainder of the morning and into the afternoon. On top of the severe thunderstorm warnings that we have that are active and the active tornado watch, we also have flood watches that are in effect for heavy, heavy rain. But the bigger picture for you right now, yellow indicates a tornado watch. The orange indicates a severe thunderstorm warning, and we are going to see these warnings continue to pop on and off, not only for this afternoon, but even into this evening. Here's Stormwatch 7 satellite and radar. You can see how this is really beginning to book. It's just on that back southwestern edge of Fredericksburg right now, but Stafford, you are going to see the heavy winds, the gusty winds, I should say, the heavy rain, thunder and lightning, also over toward Bowling Green as this continues to advance off toward the east. If you live in Montgomery County, if you live over into Fairfax, this is the time that you're going to want to make sure that you're at least staying weather alert as these storms push your way, and they extend all the way down to the North Carolina area. And this is our latest tracking for you, D.C. at around midday, and then over toward the eastern shore as we head into the mid-afternoon hours. Quick thing over the watch and the warnings. A watch means that it's possible, and of course a warning means that it's actually happening right now. And the flood alerts do continue, and we're likely to see flood warnings pop as the heavier rains move across the area. Once again, a watch means that it's likely, however, not happening. Another view for you, we got an airplane that is now landing at Reagan National Airport. Expect significant air travel delays moving through the afternoon hours up and down the East Coast. It's going to be a domino effect. And then this once again is our camera from the Watergate Hotel. The skies are growing darker and darker. And then Frostburg on the other side of this for right now, you are actually looking at drier conditions, and the National Harbor also looking at storm clouds beginning to build off toward the west of us, the same from our camera atop the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. So once again, this is what it looks like in Woodbridge, Virginia, and we are looking at those ominous skies, but right now, just severe thunderstorm warning over towards Fredericksburg, and that is newly expanded for right now. Veronica?
Yeah, that's right, Steve. Tornado warning has been canceled for Spotsylvania County, but this is what it looks like, and there is still quite some heavy weather that is coming down across the area. Look at the rain. That's a blinding rain. One of our traffic cameras there, Spotsylvania County down I-95. In fact, I can take you there right now here looking at the radar. This is what you were looking at. All of this rain falling, high rainfall rates. Look at this, Fredericksburg, I-95 area right there, what we just showed you. That is a rainfall rate of 2 inches per hour. And that is hard for this, this month of May. We've been so saturated. We're right now with about a 3-inch surplus on rainfall. So that is going nowhere. That is just sitting on the road right now, folks. Again, over a 2-inch rainfall rate, I-95 area right now, Fredericksburg, Bellevue area. And as I expand it out just a little bit and show you where this is headed, look. This is tracking, folks, right up toward Stafford, so right at Route 1, eventually more into the I-95 area, and then maybe even Triangle eventually, maybe even areas around Quantico in the next couple of minutes. So east-northeast at 40 miles per hour right now. It'll hit areas like Stafford by 11:45, and then on toward Nanjemoy, you folks around Nanjemoy there, Charles County, just before noon today. With the whole line advancing off to the east, what we have left with now some severe thunderstorm warnings with that tornado warning now canceled for Spotsylvania. But look at the line. There still could be a lot of rain, even if we don't have severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued, could be some flood warnings. So that's what we're looking at right now, eventually getting to Ocean City by 3 o'clock. You got a little bit of a break once this moves through where maybe you can get out on the road. All right, we're going to jump back in should we have any more tornado warnings issued. We now return you to The View.